Welcome back to 2022, where we're episode number 6 of the ETF versus cryptocurrency challenge. We're now 6 months in and halfway through the challenge. Just to look at the exchange traded fund side of things, at the start of December we had around about this amount of money, which had slightly increased to $6,579. So that's roughly 9% gain over this dollar cost averaging period of time. Moving on to the crypto side of things, the strategy seems to be getting more and more complex, but the first part was just on the Polygon or Matic chain. The majors, that is the majors of Bitcoin and Ethereum have decreased in value during this period of time, so the total value in Aave has decreased from $1,700 to roughly $1,400 in value. And on the curve side of things, this was the leveraged borrowing. The value had actually decreased from about $266 to $132.48, although this isn't comparing apples with apples really, because I'm not including the rewards, which make up a not insignificant amount of the total value, but we'll have to think of a better way to compare these two sides of things. So all in all, the value of the curves side has dropped from $266 to $132 in value. And then one of the other major changes that I made halfway through this month was the previous DeFi protocol that I'd been using to farm. It actually changed to put that all into Curve, just because the DeFi token had been drastically reducing in value. I think it was around about $1.50 at its peak when I was farming it, but down to about 22 cents. So most of the rewards I had farmed from there had decreased substantially. So therefore I actually withdrew that out of DeFi and popped them into Curve, and Curve has been performing very well lately. It's roughly around about $6 a token, and I think even 6 months prior had been trading around about $1.50 to $2. So that's one of the key takes that I've learned over the past few months. The reward token needs to be solid, and because if it decreases in value, then unless you're farming and dumping the token on a regular basis, then you're going to be losing a lot of that potential APR. On the other hand, if the token retains its value and increases, then a 20% APR could potentially be 40% or 60% if the token doubles or triples afterwards. Anyway, the value of this particular stream previously was $1,736, decreased to $1,559, but this just reflects the overall trend of Bitcoin and Ethereum going down in the past month. So the Polygon Summary is that the value had gone from $3,738 down to around about $3,228. And this was the breakdown. Now the second part had been the Phantom strategy. I think I've done maybe 2 months now of using the Phantom protocol. The first portion was in Curve, again using the conservative A-Tri-Crypto breakdown, and again the value had gone from $828 to $717. Just reflects the Bitcoin and Ethereum downtrend over the past 30 days. In Geist, I initially had $668, which had increased to $1,154. But again, this reflects the the 1,000 Australian dollars that I had deposited in during the previous episode. And I just took out a loan against some of the Geist holdings. I just took out a $350 loan, and I'm just farming some spell with that just because I could. It's relatively low risk, and I'm making, say, roughly 14 to 15% APR differential after subtracting the APR for borrowing USDT. So all in all, the Phantom value had increased from roughly $1,500 to $1,900. But again, the Bitcoin and Ethereum decreasing in price has certainly taken its toll on the returns. The summary I've just highlighted in blue on the 5th of January 2022, if I had held in cash, it'd be $6,000. My exchange traded funds have shown a roughly 10% increase over that period of time, whereas the crypto side is still beating the exchange traded funds performance, although it has had a marked pullback since the previous one. Again, just reflecting the general sentiment of the ETH and Bitcoin downtrends. And just an update, after putting in an additional $1,000 into the share side of things, this brings the total up to 7,561 Australian dollars. The Polygon side of things, I've just taken this snapshot from 8board just to remind ourselves of what it looked like at the end of December, start of January. And the Phantom side is reflected here. I ended up putting the $1,000 that I was additionally that I put into just the A-Try crypto farm, just because depositing into Geist seems to have a very high cost. It was costing me like one Phantom, which is roughly about $3.50, and funnily enough I didn't have enough tokens to actually deposit in there. So yep, that's the summary, and we'll see you in the next episode at the start of February.